What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at My Universe by Coldplay and BTS. It's a collaboration effort between both of them, but I want to show you the power of simplicity and how easy it is to write a simple melody that really is just super memorable as well. And so before we do that though, I want to give you my pop theory handbook, which is totally free, but basically it covers the essential components behind pop music, most mainstream radio pop music, and what really makes it so catchy and memorable and how those elements work together. So we'll talk about melody, harmony, rhythm, form, and all that good stuff, all combined into one streamlined guide that you can read in like an afternoon and start applying to your own music if you're a songwriter or composer. Hopefully it'll help you out, and I want to give it to you as a gift for watching this video. So let's check out My Universe really quickly. I did a very quick transcription into Note Flight here, and you can see I've just written the lyrics and the chord symbols on top as well. But just by looking at the visual representation of the melody, you can already see the way it's been split up. So essentially, this is in a sentence form. In music theory, we usually have a period or a sentence. So in this case, a sentence is where you have a basic idea, which is then repeated, usually with a slight variation. And then you have a continuation phrase, which is basically developed and related to the first phrase, but it's developed and then there's a cadence at the end, usually a half cadence, which is like a ending on a 5 chord or landing on the 1 chord to finish off the phrase in a very resolved way. So in this case, let me play it one time for you and you can hear how it goes. Right? First of all, notice the chord progression is literally repeated 4 times. So you have A, C sharp, B, and it's an E major, so it's basically the 4, 6 to 5, and you don't actually get the 1 chord until the second half of the second phrase. Then the 1 chord basically leads us back into the 4 chord. But overall, the chord progression is super, super simple. So that just gives the ear something to listen to and remember because it's repeated so many times. We don't really have to listen very hard to remember this chord progression. Then the melody itself starts literally on the tonic note of the scale, starting on E, right? Then it steps up the scale to G sharp, goes back down to E. Now notice the range here between the E and the G sharp is literally just a third. So all we've done is use the first, second, and third scale degree so far. Very, very simple, right? And then again, we start on the E, which is the tonic, and go up to the F sharp again. But now we go down to the 7 or flat 7, go down to the 6 to the 5. So now the distance between the lowest and highest note so far is a sixth. From the low B up to the G sharp, that's a major sixth. So still not a super wide range, right? Then again, now the continuation phrase starts the same. You are my universe and you make my world light up inside. This is the most complicated part of the overall melody because it kind of goes down, goes back up, and then jumps back down again. But they kind of save the more complicated stuff towards the end of the phrase. But the hook itself, you are my universe, and like that there, that is the hook. It's so easy to remember because you're literally repeating so many E's, right? You're literally reestablishing the tonic note over and over and over again. And so each time the phrase begins, we literally get that E repeated multiple times. And this time we actually go up to the B, right? So that's the dominant note. So now the biggest range between the highest note and the lowest note is an octave. You make my world light up inside, right? So the low B and the high B is an octave. And so most pop songs will stay within an octave just to make sure that the layperson can actually sing that in their vocal registers as well. Generally, the more complicated a melody is, the less memorable it tends to become. So in this case, you can see it, again, just as a quick recap, it's basically split into a basic idea, and then that basic idea is repeated, but with a very slight variation in the melody and the chords. So there's the E major chord at the very end there that leads us back into the 4 chord. Starts off the exact same way as the first basic idea, but now it's developed further. We go up to the dominant, and then we work our way back down to the dominant once again, and we land on the dominant chord. So it's a more open, questionable type of phrase. And then the end of the chorus does finish on the 4 chord again, I believe. And so the only time you get the 1 chord, the E major chord, is I believe in the chorus right there. But generally, that's really the key to a simple melody is once you establish a melodic motif or a cell, you just repeat that again, but with a very, very slight variation to keep the listener guessing, keep them on their toes, keep the melody fresh. And then you can take that same idea, but develop it further into like a 4-bar phrase rather than just a 2-bar phrase. And then you can decide how you want to end it. Do you want to end it on a half cadence or an authentic cadence? Usually those are kind of the two you'll decide between to finish your phrase. Now, this is all in context of kind of like Western style of music, what we're basically used to hearing in terms of pop music. And so this is a typical guideline structure that you can use for pretty much any pop song, and it will sound memorable. So hopefully that kind of helps. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. And if you're interested in writing simple pop music, this is again a good formula to follow. I know a lot of people don't like pop music because it feels so watered down and so simple, but those are the hits that really stick in people's minds because they have a knack of knowing what people like listening to, and they just have these earworms that come and they're able to get them out into the DAW because they've been doing this for a long time. And Coldplay is obviously a great band. They have lots and lots of music, but this is definitely a really cool collaboration that they did. And a lot of people were really happy about it and really excited about it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, if you don't have the Pop Theory Handbook, definitely want to give that to you. It's totally free. So just click the link in the description box below. It'll take you straight there. And again, we cover the basics of pop music like melody, harmony, form, and arrangement, and all that good stuff. Tell you how that all works together and kind of the core ingredients behind pop music. I've put it all into a digestible format, so hopefully you can read that very quickly and start applying that to your own music right away. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and take care. Bye-bye.